Welcome back. Parliament back early, of course. Today has been condolence motions for the 15 lives cruelly taken on December 14. Joining me now is Industry and Innovation Minister Tim Ayres. A sombre day, certainly, reflecting on those 15 tragedies, I suppose, so many families affected. What really stuck with you from what you've read and seen since then?
Well, it's been certainly, as you say, a sombre day in the Parliament, and each of us tries to make a contribution on a day like today, and you realise, of course, that your individual contribution never quite rises to the moment. It can't. This has been such a terrible event for Australia, the worst onshore terrorist action in Australia, 15 dead Australians, many of them Jewish Australians. But what you hope for is that the Parliament at its best on a day like today, that the collective effort of our contributions really does the job for Australia. Of course, over the coming day or so, it's about the character of the response, not about what we say, but what we do as a Parliament to make Australia safer and stronger.
You do have these times when Australians watching on as well. Look, politics is a job. It's politicians' job to say that they're doing well, their government's doing well. We get that. But at these moments, for some real honesty, do you think Jewish Australians are entitled to feel the government has, to a degree, let them down with how long or the lack of response to the anti-Semitism report by the time the attack was carried out?
Well, I think the PM's been very straight with Australians and with Jewish Australians in his private and his public discussions about this. I mean, this event happened. It is absolutely terrible event. There will be both the Dennis Richardson inquiry and the Royal Commission will look at, well, what needs to be strengthened beyond the government's response that we have enacted thus far. Now, of course, we're asking the Parliament to go further than the Parliament is up to moving. Gillian Siegel's report calls for much more, and we have, as a government, developed anti-vilification legislation that is there for the Parliament should it choose to adopt it. But the Coalition has said they're not prepared to implement the Siegel report in full in this respect. Now, the problem, of course, is all of the language was about getting back here fast, getting back here to implement the report in full. We have grappled with those questions. We've brought that recommendation back, which is what Jewish Australians want to see, what the Executive Council of Australian Jewry is calling upon the Parliament to do. But the Liberals and Nationals are back to where they started on these issues. Not able to grapple with that question.
So on that racial vilification element, the Prime Minister announced on Saturday he wasn't going ahead with it. You're saying it's still there if...
Well, clearly, I mean, the PM set out that it's not proceeding because the Liberals and Nationals have made it very clear that they will not support it. We want to see...
In any other circumstance, when Labor want to do something and they don't agree, Labor often pushes, tries to negotiate, does that over the next 6 to 12 months. So is Labor still doing that? Are you
no, this is a moment where what we want to see coming through the Parliament is essentially a set of measures that are agreed to by the Parliament.
So if the Greens or the Coalition decide to agree to what you have proposed, you'll do it, but you're not going to negotiate. Is that where it's at?
What I think Australians want to see is the Parliament adopting the measures proposed by the government. They don't want to see partisanship around these questions. Like, this is a moment of real gravity for Australia.
But just on where that's at.
And that package of measures, from gun laws across to the measures to prescribe terrorist organisations, all of those measures, we will continue to work them through in the Parliament over the course of today and tomorrow. And we want to see the maximum in that set of measures, because we have proposed that set of measures because it makes Australia safer and stronger.
But on the racial vilification element, it's not going ahead tomorrow in terms of where it's at. If the Greens or Liberal Party or Coalition come to you and say, we'll agree to it, you would then
Well, it's
pass.
sort of a hypothetical at the moment.
That's what this building is. But I'm just trying to clarify: is it done? We're not going to bother, or is it? It's sitting there if you want to pass it, or are you negotiating on it?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. At the moment, our focus is upon today and tomorrow.
So beyond tomorrow,
and
you might look at that again.
Well, it's a hypothetical for well down the track. I mean, where the Liberals have been at, remember, poor old George Brandis said Australians have got a right to be a bigot. And now that's the position that they've adopted once more. Well, they've been saying something different. Now we're in the Parliament. The crucible of how legislation is formed is here. Everyone's accountable. We'll do what we can, get the best out of the Parliament that the government can over today and tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's a matter of regret that the full package is not being adopted, but that's where we are.
You mentioned the PM's been pretty straight. He did say today he would have done things differently, but didn't say what they were. Would it benefit the Australian people and Jewish Australians to hear what they are? If you just say it broadly, well, that's easy to say, but saying what you would do differently, that's learning from your mistakes, isn't it?
I'm sure there's going to be plenty of opportunities as the PM in private and public discussions goes through this. This is the kind of leadership that the country wants, right? Is political leaders who say not being hyper defensive or partisan about these questions. Prime Minister's job is to set these issues out clearly for the Australian people. He's done that. We've worked through a process on all of these questions. We're here in the Parliament on the 19th of January, not too many weeks after this terrible event.
Would go, right, okay, and they can assess him on it. You've said that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
So he'll spell that out.
I wouldn't be passing the phrases in what was a very serious and sombre contribution.
Saying what would you do differently matters, right?
Well, aren't we going to see, really, out of the Dennis Richardson report in particular, is a focus on the role of our agencies, as the New South Wales government focuses on its role in these areas, as we focus on the issues of anti-Semitism more broadly.
All right.
Of course, we will find issues where we can lift our work, engage more thoroughly, improve the performance of government. But the legislative package that is in front of the Parliament today, from gun law reform right through to prescribing terrorist organisations, will make Australia stronger, make Australia safer. But the work in dealing with anti-Semitism won't start and stop in the first part of 2026. It is a big body of work that we're going to keep cracking away at.
Minister Tim Ayres, appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.